actually why especially multinational companies are doing layoffs.
When it's communicated clearly that you will not be any longer in the company, it's a shock and it's denial. This is not me, this is not happening, why me, and this type of things. Am I in the right place? Am I having the right skill? If I'm testing myself outside, would I get a job?
Hi everyone. So welcome to another podcast episode in the podcast by EK. This is honestly the first time for me ever to try to do a podcast in English. But the reason why I decided to do it in English, because I think the topic of today that we're going to discuss is important to my colleagues in my global network. And I want to make sure that the content that we will talk about is, to be reached to the people that are not native in Arabic. And the reason why we didn't by the way, we just finished shooting the episode in Arabic, and we decided that we want to make the same content but in English. And we didn't go with just translating the episode. We wanted to make sure that we actually shoot the content in English, because it's more raw, it's more natural, when you deliver the content in the language that people would understand, and instead of translating the content of the Arabic episode. So today's episode is about layoffs. Unfortunately, lately we heard about a lot of our people or in our network that they got laid off, and unfortunately, it has been very devastating news for everyone, to be laid off. And we thought of, let's do a content on how can we make people cope with the situation, how can they, better deal with it, and how they can see it actually as a good opportunity. And because of that, welcome my guest for today, Raghda elKasaby. Raghda is an HR expert with more than 16 years of experiences in the HR field, as well as she's a talent and culture lead. Thank you so much, Raghda, for coming to the podcast.
Thank you, Iman. Super excited.
Same here. And it feels, a bit weird because we just finished shooting the episode in Arabic. We spent almost 1 hour doing it in Arabic and now in English. So we're just, doing the switch. It feels a bit... I don't want to use the word weird, but it's like changing context. But anyway, we wanted, or we agree. Actually, it's Raghda's idea. She told me, you know what? The people of LinkedIn, they will better understand if we just, share the content in English and not just translate it. So I told her, yeah, let's do that. That's going to be a great idea. So I know we're starting the episode with a lot of positive energy. We're trying.
Yes.
So first question for you, Raghda, is actually why especially multinational companies are doing layoffs?
Why they're doing it? Why corporates doing it?
Yeah, why corporate are doing layoffs?
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me first. And it's a very viral topic, as you said. And it's a lot of our colleagues are facing this. So first of all, we have to understand why corporates do layoffs. And because we need to know that it's not about the employee, it's about the corporate and how they're facing things. So there are 4 factors. First one is related to the economical situation. So whether there is a recession, there is an inflation, there is changes in market dynamics that force the company to take data decisions, like, for example, laying off employees or cutting people cost or letting go of their employees for a certain function. The second thing is related to technological advancements. So as you know, robotics, AI, and all these type of things started to affect the way we work and the roles. And some of the roles who we spent for 4 or 5 hours, now it will be obsolete, and it can be done through automation, like in 5 or 10 minutes. So how we make sure that our roles will not be redundant in the future. Another factor is related to merger and acquisition, and where, when you have big companies having merger and acquisition, so there is duplicates in functions. And when there is duplicates, you will find that there is decisions where you have to decide which team will continue, and that's why layoffs happen. And the last one is related to business restructure. So restructure based on change in strategy, change in vision and mission, expanding in a certain market. All these type of things may affect the layoff, but all of these have nothing to make with
the individuals. It's not about you're bad or you're not any more qualified for that job. There are a lot of aspects that lead, the big organizations to take such decisions. I know it's hard, but it is the fact. So Raghda, apart from like the why, there is a big part when it comes to the managers and leaders when they communicate this to their employees. So from your experience, like how and what's the best way they can do it in order to make it smooth, and how to communicate the layoffs for them?
It's a very hard task on the manager because at the end the manager is a human, and same time they know that they have employees and they have the human aspect of how I can tell this bad news. They have family to take care of, they have financial obligations. Same time they don't know how to do it because it's business and it's corporate decision and they have to do it. So the first thing, again, it happened that I found one of the employees telling me, Raghda, what a pleasant experience after having a layoff conversation with the manager. And it was shocking, pleasant experience while you are laid off. It's because how the manager communicated and absorbed the situation. So the first thing for the manager to do is really to communicate clearly and transparently. Why they're doing layoff, what's the reason, and assuring the employee that it's not about them, it's about the direction of the company. Second thing is related to how the manager diffuse emotions, how the manager, the human part of the manager where they diffuse
It's about the empathy, how to be like very empathetic when you communicate something hard like that.
Exactly, how to be empathetic and how to be compassionate while you are talking about this and putting things in perspective and knowing what others are feeling. Not sympathy, it's like being really empathetic and understanding what they're going through. Same time, managers should start to reassure and start to offer support, especially in multinational. They offer after support related to layoffs. So whether it's career coaching or counseling, whether it's recruitment services, writing CVs, all type of things that can support the employee to move on.
Yeah, 100%. So that's for the manager. The hardest part still will be on the employees. So how can you see, like, what are coping mechanisms in order for employees to do in order to handle this very hard emotional roller coaster, as well as you said, it's still an opportunity. So how to deal with it emotionally and how can they act upon it and move on to different opportunities?
I loved how you formulate the question. So it's hard and it's a positive opportunity. So let's take the hard side.
Yeah.
Hard side is related. It's normal for any human when they face a loss. It's a loss of a thing that is big in life, like layoff, and I do not have a job. So there is an emotional roller coaster, as you said. So from an emotional point of view, as human, first thing you will be shocked. So even if you are prepared or not, even if you you have an expectation or estimation that this will happen, when it's communicated clearly that you will not be any longer in the company, it's a shock and it's denial. This is not me, this is not happening, why me, and this type of things. Then it turns to anger. Anger specifically, why they're doing this to me, especially when you are staying, you have a long tenure in the company and you have been so long, so you feel as if you are betrayed, I've been here, I've been loyal, and they left me. And this is, you turn to be emotional, but again, it's business context and this is how it works. And then after being shocked, denial, all this type of thing, you start to fear and have an anxiety. And this is a big part of it. Fear of the unknown, fear of the uncertainty, fear of what's happening next, what I'll do in financials, what I'll do in the next job, whether I'll tell how I'll be perceived if I've known that I've been laid off. So, and the anxiety and fear of the unknown and what's next, this is very, very big part of it. And then the part of when you understand that this is a change that should happen and you don't have any influence over it, so you move to the coping strategy, as you said. So
100%.
Yes.
Interesting, very interesting, Raghda. It's all about the mindset, as you mentioned earlier. Like it's all about how you see things and how you see things. Or like changes is always hard, but sometimes it's really good. So it opens new opportunities.
100%.
It lets you out of your comfort zone and so on. So another aspect of this layoff thing is the people actually who didn't get laid off and they're still staying. However, the people you used to work with got laid off, your colleagues, your friends, how depressing it is and how devastating it is. It makes you feel like, what's next in my future? What's like, why should I be working? And I feel like there's no future for me. So how do you think the if this is the right word, I would say the unlaid off employees, the leftovers in the company, how they deal with such situation.
Okay, I'll have to acknowledge first the emotions. So it's true. It's very bad experience for those even who are staying. They are, because they know they are questioning, am I next one? What's the future of the company? They start to question everything. They start to mistrust the organization, mistrust the process. So there is a big part of it, the management transparency and understanding of the direction of the company, where it stands. And same time, it's for the ones who are staying and the others who left,
Yeah.
how am I preparing myself, how I'm preparing myself of change, how I'm making myself relevant and not obsolete. Whether they are laid off because the function is not relevant anymore, how I can upskill and reskill myself in order to be still relevant in the market. So these type of feelings of those who are still in the company, feeling guilty for their friends, feeling that loyalty is not there, why I should be loyal, and they left all my friends, all this is normal. But the coping strategies for those who left is same as those who are staying. One of them is acknowledging your emotions, having grief and everything, acknowledge that this is normal, you are human, then looking in the positive side. So it's the right time for those who left and for those who are staying to start to reflect. Am I in the right place? Am I having the right skill? If I'm testing myself outside, will I get a job? What are the relevant jobs in the market? Do I have the skill set and they'll be attractive in the market? All these questions, it's time, even if it's just validation. So even if you are not laid off and you are still there, just validate that you're still relevant, you have the skill set needed, and you are still with the trends and outside in trends and all this type of things, and you are learning.
100%. It's always good to explore, and I see. I will take from your point also, Rada, that after exploration, you get to assess yourself the gap, like how far you are from the next job that you want to get. And I want to clarify that to get the right skills for the next job that you want, it really takes time. So better off be prepared from now and not wait until you get actually laid off. It's always good to have a look, even if your company, by the way, is not laying off anyone.
100%.
You still have to check out the market and see how relevant you are in order to work on yourself and see what kind of skills you need to learn in order to be relevant.
100%.
So last thing in that podcast, Raghda, is what advice do you give to employees generally in the topic of the layoff, or especially for the people who are working for 11, 12, 15 years in a company, what they need to do or work on?
Okay, I'll separate the questions. So the first part, for those who stayed for 12 years, regardless of the number of years, once you feel that you are complacent or saturated, or you are not feeling that you are growing, or feelings you're so comfortable in your place, this is a question mark. So if you are in a corporate for 15 and 20 years and you are feeling that you're always exposed, you're always growing, getting different jobs, you've never been saturated, disregard the years, it's about you growing. But once you feel too comfortable, start to say, what I'm missing. Am I missing that I'll be obsolete and irrelevant? I'm missing the trends. So this is my advice for those who have been too long. Don't push yourself to move if you are growing. Don't push yourself to move even if you are complacent, but same time it's fitting your social life, it's fitting your personal priorities and everything. There is no right or wrong, but you push yourself to move and explore if you feel that you have a career aspiration and it's not matching while you're feeling saturated in your company. This is the first part. Second part is related for those who have been laid off. There is a homework to do. First thing, it's a great opportunity. If the mindset is positive, I know that it's hard, but it opens a lot of opportunities. So start to look into your CV, update your resume, update your LinkedIn, check your skill set, check what roles you have relevant in the market that you can apply for. Reach out to your network. It's very important. Networking is key. Because again, if you are very good and you are expert in your place and you don't have the good network, you will not be approached and you'll not be reached. So having this equation of being good and expert in what you're doing, same time you have the right network, will make you reach faster and have a rapid career progression. In this phase, you have to compromise. So if you are laid off, you have to know that you have to explore options like part-time job, freelancing, 1-year contract, contractors, whatever, because it's better than staying at home. If you are interested to do the corporate life, You have to set compromises. And same time, take your time to reflect. So whenever I have anyone asking me, Raghda, I'm rushing, I need to have a role, telling them it's okay. Try just to sit back and reflect. It's the perfect time for you to reflect. Is this the right career for me? What options I have? So it's the right time when you take the next step to take it right. You don't have the influence. Assess your financials, assess your savings, make sure that you have the right thing, but knowing that it's the right time for you to select what fits you best.
100%.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Radha, for this amazing episode. And I really hope it's helpful and beneficial for those who are listening to us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.